Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have Iga Swiatek versus Alexandra Eala in the Miami Open 2025 quarterfinal, and we're going to be getting into the match preview. Before we do though, remember that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Also shout out to our members on YouTube and click the notification bell if you are tuning in on YouTube. So, this is a really interesting matchup for a couple of reasons. I think first of all, they've never played before, and there's a reason for that. Alexandra Eala is only 19 years old. She's come into this tournament as a wild card, and she is a former student of, well, I guess the current student of the Rafael Nadal Academy. So she's a product of the Rafael Nadal Academy, in addition to Coleman Wong, who's also had a good run in Miami. Recently lost, but had a good run beating Shelton. But Ayala's performances and run has just been astronomical in this Miami Open. I mean, she has really set the stage alight and announced her arrival on the WTA Tour. Beat Katie Volinets in the first round, then beat Ostapenko, of course, Grand Slam champion, beat Madison Keys, Grand Slam champion, and by the way, she beat both these players in straight sets. Then she got a bit of fortune with a walkover against Badosa, and now she comes up against one of the toughest tasks on the WTA Tour in Iga Swiatek, who has looked pretty confident and comfortable in Miami. She's beaten Caroline Garcia, Elise Mertens, and Alina Svitolina all in straight sets. Some tight sets, a couple of tiebreakers, 7-5 as well against Caroline Garcia, but no sets dropped as of yet. Style-wise, is actually quite interesting because Alexandra Eala has a entertaining style. She really does. And there's a couple of things to discuss on her style. Now, first of all, for those who are not particularly familiar with her game, she's a lefty. She's currently, not in the live rankings, but before this tournament, she was 134 in the world. That was her career high on the 27th of January 2025. She'll definitely get above that after this tournament. She has some similarities to someone like a Leylah Fernandez, but I would actually say she's a little bit more aggressive than the Canadian. The backhand is super solid, and she actually has, I would say she has winner hitting ability off both wings, the forehand and the backhand. She hits quite a flat and penetrating ball through the court. She can mix it up on the forehand specifically, and on the backhand she can find good angles, so she can vary up with a bit more spin. But in Miami, with these faster conditions and slightly lower bouncing conditions, her game is extremely suited to this. She tries to take the ball early. She doesn't give the baseline up at all. If there's balls coming hard and fast to her or deep in court, she will, like Leylah, she will get down low, really strengthen her base and then shorten her backswing and then take the ball early and kind of dig it out, and trying to avoid backing up behind the baseline, which is very interesting, and it's a clear tactic of not wanting to give up any lateral, any depth in terms of your court position, because you don't want to be on the back foot. You're trying to stay at least neutral, if not on the front foot, throughout rallies, so that you can have the best possible opportunity to dictate. And that's what Alexandra Eala tries to do in her game, and it's very interesting to see, and it's something that we do see from other players. Swiatek is an example of that. She likes to hug the baseline and wants to take the ball early, especially on the hard courts anyway. I mean, in the past she would take the ball when it would drop, but actually now, with her shortened backswing on the forehand, after working with women for set, on hard court it looks like she's shortened that as well and is taking the ball a bit earlier as well. She's also an extremely athletic player, Eala. Great court coverage, good first serve lefty, or good first serve for a lefty. Has the classic swinging away serve from the ad side and the serve down the tee. That's again swinging away from the backhand of a righty. The second serve is weak, I have to be honest. It is pretty weak. And she got away with it a little bit in some of her matches, mainly because her first serve percentage was so high. 66% versus Keys and 75% even against Ostapenko. And interestingly, actually, her win percentage on the second serve compared to first serve is actually quite similar in both those matches. And that's down to her defensive skills, being able to, as I said, not get on the baseline, really get down low, great movement and foot speed across the court. Against Swiatek, though, Swiatek is going to really attack that second serve more than even Ostapenko or a Keys. And she's going to be clinical, and she won't be as cautious on the backhand return as maybe other players would be, because her backhand return, I would argue, is better than a forehand return. So Eala's swing serve into the backhand is actually a bit of an advantage for Iga. What Eala would be able to do, and I think it's actually quite an interesting matchup, is actually her backhand cross is extremely strong. And it reminds me a little bit of Rafa, actually, the way that she just lets go on that backhand side at times. And we've seen Iga's forehand break down, on occasion on a hard court. And I wonder if Eala's backhand can do that much damage against someone like a Swiatek. But she has been playing with pretty small margins at times. Eala really redlining, hitting the ball extremely clean, playing an aggressive brand of tennis. And she's going to have to do something similar against Swiatek, because if she plays a tentative game, or match even, if she's not taking a bit of risk, then Swiatek will take over and she'll take the match away from her. So I think what she did against Keys, she'll have to play in a similar sort of style, I think, and have a similar approach to this Iga Swiatek match. For Iga, she just needs to weather the storm that comes at her. She's the best defender on tour, I would argue. Some people might say Andreeva, given how recently she's played incredibly well, especially from a defensive aspect. But yeah, Iga, so quick, great court coverage, incredible lateral movement, defends so well out the corners. And she's able to defend and get to so many different balls and make the opponent play an extra ball or two, or sometimes even three. The serve, like Eala, I think the second serve is attackable for Iga still. The first serve can be potent from Swiatek, same with Eala. And I think Eala is a pretty potent returner, but Swiatek is the best in the business when it comes to returning. So, like I was saying, I think Eala needs to redline, play some really aggressive tennis, not get dragged into longer rallies, because I think Swiatek will win those longer rallies. She needs to keep the points as short and sweet as possible, get on the front foot, take a bit of risk, and hope that it pays off, which it has done so far anyway, this tournament. I would like to pick Eala, I would, but I have a feeling that this may be a step too far. So I'm going to go with Swiatek, but I'm actually going to go with Swiatek in 3 sets. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to win and why. I would actually like to see Eala win, and I love Swiatek, but I just think it's such a great story. I have this Eala story that I almost want her to continue to win, and to see if she could actually get close to winning it, which would be incredible if you think about it, for a wild card who a lot of people wouldn't have even heard of going into this tournament. Okay, guys, well, let me know in the comments. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks very much. Stay safe and well. See you on the next video.